Peace and blessings, Royal family. So, what is an empath? We're going to talk about that for a quick minute. All right. An empath, in its basic terms, is somebody that's sensitive to energies. These energies are subtle energies such as thought energies, emotional energies. These is brought on through a person's astral body or macabre actually expanding, and it constantly is expanding. So they could pick up not just immediate things, but they could also pick up things long distance as they mature. Okay, so what are the symptoms of an empath, and what is this empath thing about? All right, well, empaths is your typical people that you see that is isolated. They keep to themselves. And their isolation or keeping to themselves, I would say presently, but it's from experiences that occurred in the past that make them the way they are. You see, empaths, being that they're sensitive to energies, they can sense what's going on inside of us. They're more prone to tell us the truth about ourselves than we would tell our own truth. And so they could sense what you feel, what isn't going on inside you emotionally. Now, most empaths are born with it. So from a child, when this occurs, they are really the truthers of the world. And most of the time they get scolded by their parents for telling these truths. So empaths learn to not tell the truth. They tend to sway to the other side, take you away from the truth, or actually lie to you just so that they won't hurt you or make you act up, because a lot of people can't face the truth, really. And so that's what's one thing with an empath that make them separate themselves from society or regular people, because a lot of people don't want to face their truth, and the empath can sense it and know it. Now, with an empath, it's harder for them too, because people take advantage of them. Because they're so sensitive to energy, they're like shapeshifters, reptilians. They actually come into an environment, and if the environment is happy or whatever, they also become happy and their mood become happy. If it's a down, sad environment or a negative environment, they turn negative and fit right into the environment. So they always shape-shifting as far as emotion to suit the situation, because it's out of survival instincts from being, getting in trouble in the past. So empaths always is like pleasers, you could say, but they're not the ego pleasers. They're a different type of pleasers. They're pleasers that learn this from experience, that their truth is so deep or real, most people don't want to face it and will put them in a bad situation or get into arguments. So aside from that, the basics of empaths is that whatever a person feels, say you got a headache, a true empath, there's two lines, there's empathy, which every human being have. When somebody, dog die, you feel sorrow, pain for them. But an empath now, say you woke up with a headache and your stomach hurt, and you have a hangover, and your empath friend come by, when they come in the room, they're going to feel a headache come upon them. Their stomach is going to hurt. They're going to have all the symptoms you have. An empath, if you have a cold, they could pick up your cold just from being around you. They could pick up whatever you have, they'll get the symptoms, basically, to summarize it. So that's the sign of an empath. So empaths tend to actually isolate themselves because of some of these reasons that I'm explaining to you. Also, because of their open heart, their heart chakra is so open, they're quick to sympathize with people, and it pulls them in and drag them into people's life, and they start trying to organize the person's life and help the person, and wind up putting themselves into situations when they do that. So empaths are people who actually can't help but helping people. They don't know how to say no. They're always getting themselves caught up into things because of that simple fact they can't say no. And it's not their fault. They wish they could say no. Because of their empathy, though, they find something that actually they can see in themselves that make them attach themselves to people to help them. So empaths, after a while, they learn these lessons and start isolating themselves, because actually when they get themselves heartbroken, used, abused, and it keep happening over and over again, it become an energy theft. It sucks their energy. With empaths, just being in the same room with somebody that's sad, their energy gets sucked from them and it goes into the person, and the person feel better and happy, and now the empath is wearing that negative energy. So these is all signs of an empath. The empath is also 100% psychic, because that's how they're able to read your energy signature or your vibrations as they come into the room. So these now is something they have to live with. And so empaths have to learn to isolate themselves, how to take energies off of them from them being outside. That's called purification. They have to purify themselves. You know, you have methods such as using candles and actually just meditation, you know, visualizing when you're meditating a ball or white light circling you, and that will heal you. And actually, you can use it for protection. So, empaths usually are the ones that start using psychic abilities and have magical skills because they have to use it first as a form of protecting themselves. A basic empath can't be in the same room with another person really unless their energy vibration is on the same frequency. If it's not on this frequency, it's going to be either a give or take, an even exchange of energy. If the empath keeps going through these uneven energy exchange, it literally have a fatal effect on him, or a fatal heart attack, something that's going to take something really bad or maybe even kill him. I don't want to say that, but it can. I've read it and it's true. So for y'all empaths out there, I hope you get an understanding of what it is to be an empath and to protect yourself, because you can't help some of the things you're doing because of your empathy towards everybody. It's just how your macabre is built. It's a deeper science to it because empaths also now have laws that they can't violate because they're souls that have been here. They have their soul. This empath energy is magnetic. They have an overabundance of magnetic energy. So people is drawn to them. Magnetics is the same like the ocean over here. You see how the ocean is? It's the magnetic field that actually makes it waves back and forth. So our emotions is controlled by our magnetic field. And if you have no magnetic field, you have no emotions. And so people with that's empaths have a very strong magnetic field. It's like an aura over them that is radiating. And so they actually are emotional in a sense, but it's not them. If they by themselves isolated, they fine. But when they get around people, they get overzealous. You get people that's caught up in bad relationship, abusive relationship because of their empathism. Now, if you understand how empath is and what you are, you could look into yourself more. And if you want details, you could always hit me up on here. You could hit me up at my email is universityofconsciousscience at gmail.com, all one word. And then you can see me as Lord Enki, as Damien Samuel, SamuelDamen on Facebook. And we could chop it up in Messenger or whatever. All right, I'm going to do a follow-up now on this on part 2. It's going to be about the empath and the psychic vampire. So what is a vampire? Stay tuned for the next video and find out. One love.